pleased to be sitting down with you. Adam Assenza, basically mixed martial artist, fighter, entrepreneur, philanthropist. But, maybe for other random people like myself, I'd love to hear a little bit about who you are. What's your story?
So for me, definitely all the things you said are my interests. And, my main focuses are, fighting, fitness. And, I've been trying to give back with my charity, AA Knockout Cancer. And, at the end of the day, it's just about doing what I love and trying to help people.
I love it. I would love to hear a little bit more about your martial arts journey specifically, and how it may have contributed to your growth physically and mentally. What did that look like for you?
So for me, I was actually a high level gymnast, like a national gymnast, like growing up. And then, I trained, 16 hours a week, 16 to 22 hours a week. And then when I quit that, I was probably like 17 or something like that, maybe a little bit younger. And I felt like there was a void missing in my life. I got in a lot of street fights. I got in a lot of trouble. And, UFC started to kind of, jump on the scenes. And I used to watch Pride when I was a kid with one of my uncles. So I was kind of familiar with MMA. And then my buddy took me to a gym. I trained there, and there was a couple of UFC vets that were training out of there. And it's just like, I was hooked from there, and it's just like, it fell right into like my routine that I kind of was in growing up with all my tumbling training and gymnastics training. Right. So that's kind of how I got started in it. And in regards to just building up, into my entrepreneurial ventures, I feel like fighting is the epitome of how life is, right? And the thing is, in life, regardless of anything, you need to have resilience, and you need to keep moving forward no matter what's going on, what you're dealing with, trials and tribulations. So I feel like that fed right into my entrepreneurial ventures. And essentially just fighting has obviously given me a lot of discipline, a lot of resilience, a lot of things that people wouldn't even realize that it does for you mentally and physically. And so that just blended right into just some of the businesses that I've started and some of the things that I've been working on, and that's how that all kind of came about.
Would you say that's the biggest piece that you've pulled out of martial arts into entrepreneurship, resilience, and that kind of ability to fail forward?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the biggest piece, but it's definitely one of the most important. I mean, like when you're doing anything, no matter what your goals may be, whether it's business or athletics, like you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have setbacks. And like 9 times out of 10 with a lot of people, they have setbacks, 1 or 2 or 3, and then they quit. Right. And like the famous quote, like Thomas Edison had like 1,000 failed, experiments before he figured out the ones that he was patenting and he's famous for. Right. So it's just like, if you can fail 1,000 times, you're going to be successful at some point. You just got to keep kind of pushing through. And I feel like it's like that in life. And I feel like it's definitely like that with fighting.
For sure. I can see that parallel. And like, what kind of entrepreneurship ventures are you up to? Like, what have you put forward and created?
Right. So I'm obviously my background is in strength conditioning. I went to school to become a trainer and, athletic trainer. And, to be honest with you, the selfish, kind of like background story is I wanted to make myself a better athlete. Like, how could I make myself a better fighter? How can I contribute to, what I need to know for fighting, and so on and so forth. And then that just turned into me, getting, certified strength and conditioning, background, and then training other fighters, and then training other people, and then just helping as many people as I could is what it kind of came out of that. Right. So I've got an app business, an online training business, that I use, through the gym. Obviously I have the gym, and I have, my teams, my athletes that come out and work out here at the gym with me. And then, in regards to that, I also have some supplements that I've started that are kind of starting to gain some big traction, and it's kind of got a unique spin to it. And then, obviously just the Knockout Cancer charity is like where my heart is. And I'm really excited about that. And that's been going phenomenal. We have our third auction coming up and fundraiser.
Nice. And how did you, was it in your search to have a bigger impact that you got into Knockout for Cancer, or how did this play out?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like the thing is like cancer is kind of riddled my family, throughout the last few years. And like, I'm really close with my mom, and my mom, had cancer and she battled that, and I was with her, trying to help her any way that I could. And then my grandfather, I was really close with him, and he passed away to cancer. And it's just, I feel like everybody that I talk to or I interact with or that I'm close with, everybody's going through some sort of a fight with that disease. And it just seemed like the right thing to do. Like, down the road, I want this thing to be my goal. Like what I write down on a piece of paper sometimes when, I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling like I need to like recenter my brain because I got so much stuff going on and I don't know what weighs up or down, is I want to have the largest charity in Canada. So I want this thing to grow to the point where, if somebody has a unique situation and they need to, let's say, go to the States and get special type of treatment that, nobody's going to pay for, like we would be able to help them with that. That's
Okay.
a goal at the end of this thing, right? It's not just to raise awareness. Obviously that's important, but obviously I want to even be able to help people like one-on-one if possible, right? So we're trying to make this thing as big as we could possibly make it.
That's amazing. And how could people get involved or support this kind of thing?
Well, they can jump on our link at AA Knockout Cancer, and they can, donate money. Right now, we are looking for goods for our auction, because we do like an online auction, and a lot of people jump on board with that, and they're supporting, just product. They're supporting services. They're giving us like all sorts of things that we can kind of run in the auction and then help raise money that way. So there's a lot of ways that people can support. If they need if they have any questions, concerns, they can reach out to me on my Instagram or on the AA Knockout Cancer Instagram. And, me or someone from my team will definitely get back to them right away.
That's really amazing to kind of take the opportunity that you have with your platform to, make a difference, so that's kind of cool.
Thanks. I mean, I just feel like, some of the stories that I've seen or heard, like I would want somebody to try to help me if I was in those positions. And I just feel like it's the right thing to do. And I feel like everybody knows somebody who's battling some form of cancer or some disease in that regard. And I just, we got to help each other. That's what we're here to do. Right. So.
Yeah, totally. I love that. But, speaking about building your platform, let's just get right to it. You have already 7 wins, I think, with the BTC banner, if you will. 5 of your last fights, all wins. I was actually watching your last fight online yesterday just to kind of, see where you're at with the striking game and all of that. And I guess I'm curious, when are we going to see you in the UFC? When is that going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Out of my last 7, I got the 6 straight wins. I had the one fight that, I was absolutely dominating, a little bit of controversy with, the reffing there and whatnot. But I mean, that's in the past, for me, it's really difficult to get, sometimes opponents. And like my last 3 fights that were scheduled, literally on the weigh-in day, the fight got canceled. So one guy didn't get on the plane, and he was like, a 30-6 guy who like a vet, everybody knows him, killer. And it just didn't work out. I think he had some health issues. The one guy, we weighed in. I was like, hey, it's a go. We're ready to rock. And I guess in his post weigh-in medicals, it came up that he had a surgery on his shin like a year back or a few years back, and he actually had a metal plate, placed on his shin, which is illegal. So in Canada, so that got canceled. And then my last one, I was, at the venue, the night before, cutting some weight. And then unfortunately, my opponent, I guess he had a family member that was, I think, passing away. So he had to leave, and we tried to make another fight happen, and it didn't work out. So for me, it's just right now, I'm just like trying to get a fight. I just need to fight. Like I love fighting. Fighting is what I do. And, I've been ranked number 1 in the country for the last, 5 years. I think I'm number 7. I'm ranked 7 in the US. So, if UFC has, a short notice fight, I'll fight anybody. Give me a call. I'll make weight. No problem. I'm a professional. And, I just think that I have way less chance of somebody pulling out on that platform, right? So yeah, we're going to see what happens. You know, I know they're coming June 10th. If somebody happens to need a replacement short notice June 10th, you know, call me. I'm ready, you know. So if that doesn't work out, then, you know, I'll fight, you know, as soon as I can. I think I've got something booked now with BTC, which is great. And yeah, we'll just keep it moving that way.
I think it's a great way to, I don't know, kind of keep going, you know what I mean? And keep creating those opportunities for yourself in a way.
Right. And that's what you have to do with anything in life. You know, you've got to create the opportunities. They're not just going to come to you. You got to put in hard work. And, you know, with hard work, you know, comes results. So that's what we're looking to do. And that's what we've been doing. And that's what we're going to keep doing.
Love it. Love it. I mean, I could chat so much, but you know, final question. I definitely want to hear your views on this. For you, what is a true martial artist? What does that even mean?
So to me, a true martial artist is somebody who embodies the martial arts lifestyle, mentally and physically. So, you know, it could be from their, you know, their routine that they do every day in the morning. And it has to involve discipline. It has to involve resilience. And you need to have a goal at the end of the tunnel. So for me, a true martial artist is somebody who, you know, embodies all those things and is able to, you know, work towards their goals and lift others up on the way.
I love that. I love that. So there's a sense of community behind what you're saying as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we all know a martial artist is somebody who trains martial arts, you know, is typically in shape. You know, they schedule their training around their lifestyle. Their lifestyle typically is training, right? You know, from right down to the nutrition, right down to their rest, right down to everything. So, I mean, beyond that, what's a true martial artist? And to me, those things is what makes a true martial artist.
I love it. I love it. I mean, where can people connect with you? What's the best way to connect or to keep tabs on your up and coming career, possibly in the UFC? How do folks stay in touch with you?
Yeah, best place to hit me up is Instagram. That's pretty much the only thing I use. I mean, I think like things get posted to like all my platforms, but that's the best place to hit me up. And if they want to get a hold of me in regards to the charity, they can message me on my personal Instagram or on the AA Knockout Cancer Instagram as well. So
awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. It was so great chatting with you.
Thank you very much for having me on. Have an awesome day.